So guys, right now, Tinubu have come under fire over forged certificates, because we all know that there have been a lot of allegations of him forging many certificates that he had presented to us. So here says that group files suit seeking Tinubu's disqualification from 2027 presidential election over alleged certificate forgery. They are saying that Tinubu is not qualified to run for the next election because he have provided forged certificates, not once, not twice, many times, and they went ahead to show this certificate here that this was forged from Chicago State University. And also here say that the obedient movement has accused President Bola Tinubu's administration of using the judiciary to weaken opposition political parties ahead of the next election, because we all know that the APC governments are trying so hard to make sure that they register every opposition in Nigeria as of today. NDC, ADC, their plan is to make sure that they don't run in the next election. The APC want to run next election without opposition. And people are saying that is a lie, that there must be opposition, that democracy cannot be destroyed under APC government. And don't forget that the INEC are trying so hard to make sure that P2B does not come to the ballot box. But guess what? They have bowed to pressure. Here I see that just in INEC bows to pressure, uploads P2B's name on its portal. This is why I like the obedience. They don't take no for an answer. They will make sure they go to the end of it to make sure that Peter Obi is on the ballot box. And Peter Obi have come out to even tell us that FG, that the federal government, are trying so hard to make sure that he does not come to the ballot. And he have promised Nigerians that he will be on the ballot next election, no matter what. And lastly, here say that NDC has appealed the court ruling voiding its registration, insisting candidate submission to INEC remains on schedule despite setback. Every plan of APC are failing because right now P2B will be on the ballot in the next election, no matter what the APC governments are planning. And now this is a video of P2B when he was in Gambia. Guess what? This man busted everybody's brain with a brilliant information and a brilliant message. I'm going to watch that video. But before that, please subscribe if you are new in my channel. I will see you guys in my next video. Don't forget to leave a like, and I'll see you guys there.
Only leader who has observed that. Please, ladies and gentlemen, may we all rise for His Excellency, Mr. Honorable Peter Obi. Our chief guest of honor is widely recognized across Africa for his governance philosophy grounded in accountability, fiscal prudence, and human capital development, a respected continental voice and former governor of Anambra State. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise as we welcome His Excellency, Mr. Peter Obi, all the way from Nigeria, to join us here in this national conference. Your Excellency. Thank you.
Please be seated. Please be seated. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Let me very respectfully stand on all due and existing protocols, because I'm sure the protocols have been over and over mentioned. So I respectfully observe all protocols, but not without recognizing the woman who brought us here, great, powerful mayor of Banjul. I was telling my dear sister from Leeds that I had to come because the mayor is one person who is persistent in her strong demand that I must come to the Gambia. is my first time of coming to Gambia. And since yesterday, what I've been doing is trying to learn more about the country, the Gambia. And I must say, I'm impressed. I know you might have other problems like African countries. We in Africa have a problem. There's no, in some places it's worse. You are probably one of those who have less problems, because at least you can talk that you don't have insecurity problem, which is good. This year, the International Women Day conference month have said all that needs to be said. And all of you have contributed to that by saying, what is the theme? Give to gain. Shows that the more you can give, the more you can gain. And what are we talking here? We are talking about the most important contributor to development. Whenever we talk about women's affirmative action, women's inclusion, women's this, what it shows that we don't even know where development is or who is driver of development, because nobody cares more than women. Nobody. We are all male can testify to that their mothers were more caring than their fathers. My children said that every day to me. So I know that. I argue and tell them, it's okay, between me and your mother, who is more caring? They'll look at me and say, Dad, you know. So we all know that. And if they're more caring, that means they will contribute more to the societal development than men. So if the societies are not doing well, it's because we are abandoning the critical development drivers. And that is why Africa today, despite being a continent of the future, because whenever people talk about Africa, Africa today, I can tell you, is the greatest continent on the surface of the earth. We are the number 2 by land size. We're number 2 by land size, sitting on about 30.3 million square kilometers. We are number 2 by population size, about 1.6 billion. But in terms of natural resources, today Africa holds the highest. What is beneath Africa is actually unimaginable. Resources that can turn around the world. Africa today have the highest land that is uncultivated. That can feed the world. Africa today has the highest human resource because we have the highest number of people in their productive age. 60% of African population are young age that can be productive. I can go on and show how Africa is great. Yet, Africa is home to the poorest people in the world. If you talk about poverty, the highest number we found in Africa. Because we've not done the right things in terms of leadership. Leadership in Africa must change. We now want people who are competent, who have the capacity, who have the character, the commitment and compassion to lead. We can no longer be led by people who give excuses. because we have what it takes to turn around Africa. And that's what we're championing. And that requires not women, not us trying to see it as if women are begging to be included. No. We should do it as a matter of need, that we need women to be part of it. One African population today, the actual population is about 1,585,000,000, 50.8% are women. So how do you tell people who are more to be begging for space? It should be the other way around. We should be begging. In Gambia, out of a population of about 2.8 million, about 3 million, women are 52%. So they should be leading, not the other way around. The men should be begging them because they are less in population. So what we have had here is that those who should be begging are the ones who are now trying to be, even trying to give token to the people that are supposed to be begging. That is what we need. So give to gain. We must now have a clearly deliberate policies, not speeches, because in Africa we are used to conferences, we are used to speeches, where we talk and go home and allow the same incompetent drivers to continue. No, Africa must change. We have since allowed people who have passed their destination to continue to drive us. We must now ask them to go down from the vehicle so that those who have a future can. The African youths are about to take over. And women are at the forefront of this. Because when we have, if you look at what Amartya Sen said, great Nobel Economic Prize winner said, that the more you involve women, the more productive, the more developed the countries. And it's been shown everywhere. Places where affirmative action has been taken seriously, you've seen a great improvement. If you study world countries like, let me not use the first world countries, use Bangladesh. You go there today, 80% of revenue from export in Bangladesh is from clothing. Over 60% of those employed in that production are women. And of course, recently, you have the Prime Minister as a woman, the opposition leader as a woman, the speaker as a woman. And you could see the great improvement that country has done in terms of education. They've moved from a low-income country to a medium-income country. They moved from low Human Development Index to a medium Human Development Index. And you can see it's not just them. So many other countries that have done similar things. And that's what we have to look at. Africa cannot continue. And when I mean Africa, the same thing applies to Gambia, where we have less than 10% of our women involved in leadership, when they are more in population. We now have to be deliberate in our policies, in our laws, and have a strict implementation to ensure their own spaces, their own quotas I maintained it's no longer to come to conference and say women is 30% and then go out there and create violence that will make it impossible for them to participate. No more violence. We want it to be women have 30, 35, 40%, and it must be women. Not that men are trying to give it to. It's not a gift. And it's not patronage. It is requirement. It is something that must be. We must not invest in girl child education. They can help to change the world. I'm somebody who has a privilege of working with women as a banker or involved in bank. I don't know what has changed now, but in my days, I was the youngest chairman of a bank in Nigeria. I was barely 40. I was a chair in a bank, which remains one of the biggest banks in Nigeria till today. So these are among the biggest 6 of international banks. As the chairman of that bank, I worked with women who made it impossible for us to have a problem. Our chief risk officer was a woman. Our treasurer, and I can go on and on. But I can tell you, as a chairman of that bank, knowing fully when women have a chance, how strong they are. If I do anything as the chairman, the risk officer will look at me and say, Peter, I know you're the chairman of this bank and I'll lose my job, but I can't allow you to put the bank at risk. Men in the other places didn't do it, and the banks collapsed. So when I had an opportunity of being governor, and I tell people this, I had probably more women. I use probably, but I know there are more in my cabinet than men. The rest is for you to go and verify. Because whenever I talk about government, I don't talk about what I did or what I didn't do. But in critical areas of development, which is health, education, you can go and verify what we did. I had a chief of staff that was a woman, commissioner for education, a woman, commissioner for finance, permanent secretary of finance, head of service. I can go on and on. And today, when people ask me, how were you very prudent and what were you able to achieve or didn't achieve? And I said, ask the women that work with me. Till today, in Federal Republic of Nigeria, I can quote that nobody at the subnational level have left the government with the amount of money we left behind when I left office. What you hear everywhere in our country is that we're owing salary, we're owing pension, we're owing suppliers, we're owing this, we're owing that. I left office 13 years ago, barely about 14 years ago. The day I left office, I was not owing salary, I was not owing pension, I was not owing gratuity, I was only owing any supplier or contractor who have delivered it. And I've challenged everybody, if you see one, I'll stop out with politics. I wasn't owing anybody. And as at then, I left the equivalent of $500 million in the account of the state. I had a woman as commissioner for finance. And I've challenged everybody for the first 14 years. The monies were kept in the bank. Why am I saying this? Whenever I serve in that cabinet, working with women, they were always thinking about the future of their children. When you talk about their education, they'll carry it powerfully. Whenever you say this, they'll say, no, we can't spend this money. This money has to go into health. Because today, health is a problem in Africa. My country, primary health care have collapsed. Infant mortality is high. We've overtaken countries that are 7 times our population, like India. Because mothers don't have anywhere to go with their children. But working with these women, they will say, why don't we put this money in health? Because they know the implication. Why don't we put it in education? The more educated a country is, the more developed. So you need to invest in education. It's shown everywhere in the world. And Africa is a continent where human development index is still low. On the average, you might have 1 or 2 countries that are doing well. Africa is where you see the drivers of HDI still low. Today, the average per capita for Africa is below 2,000. That is low when you compare to other continents. That's about all we have. Of course, in Gambia here, per capita should be between $800 and $900. That is low. It's something in Nigeria. It is low. So we need to aggressively involve women in what we are doing, because the more we involve them, we will put them out of poverty. They become drivers of development. That is what changes everything. I keep repeating, they are more caring. If you give a woman money to save, he knows the future. Most men will do the opposite. And I've always said they are less corrupt. Because I work with them. They're far less corrupt. Because they think about tomorrow, they think about their children. So we need to involve them. We need to invest in them. So I thank you, Mayor, for what, and all of you who have talked about women, for what you're doing. What we now need is to go all over Africa and continue to say, we are no longer the laws. You have to form a stronger union to insist that those, yes, I listen to my dear mother, the Vice President, and I thank you for being part of what happened in Nigeria in 2023. Mom, it's not that for me, I said anywhere I have opportunity. I'm not desperate to be the president of Nigeria. I'm desperate to see Nigeria work. I'm desperate to see Nigeria have a society. I'm desperate to see Africa work. Where we create societies where a child of nobody can be somebody without knowing anybody. We cannot continue where you tell me your father is this or your mother is this. No. We want a society where people's hard work and talent will match up the opportunity. That's the continent. Not the talent where everything. Not where people are stealing public money. Criminalizing the country and stealing what they don't need. That's not what we want. We want public money to be used for public good. That's what we want. So it's not about me being president. It is about things working. We have millions of people living in poverty. When people like me are stealing money and buying houses all over the place, they don't need. How many houses are you going to sleep in? So when you see such a thing, it is painful. Our children are not in school. We have insecurity. Everybody knows that the more you put people out of poverty, the more you reduce insecurity. When people don't know where the next meal will come from, how are you talking about security? Put them out of poverty and you reduce insecurity. And that's what we want to do. We want to come and see Gambia, where the women of Gambia are happy, they're in government. The women of Gambia are not poor. Yes, Gambia is good. I see tourists, foreigners enjoying in the restaurants in Gambia. I equally want to see Gambian people in that restaurant. Not that they are there because foreigners will come. Everybody will be in the restaurant, including the women of Gambia. Because that's what makes the difference. So I thank you for what you're doing, and I assure you that you have a supporter in that journey. I've listened to the wonderful speeches and I've listened to what the great people of Gambia and everything. But you know, when I was talking, I said, well, look at a beautiful conversation going on in Gambia. Gambia is just 2-point-something million. And Nigeria is 240-something million. So Gambia is actually about 1% of Nigeria. And I looked at the Gambian land size and I said, Gambia is just a country of about 11 million square kilometers. That is that of Gambia. The largest state in Nigeria is 73.6 thousand. So it's actually one state in Nigeria, Niger State, is about 7 times the size of Gambia. But I remember something. I said, maybe Gambia will wake up Africa, because you know, when a cow moves, it sleeps at times. What wakes the cow up is the gadfly, the tiny thing that bites him in the tail. It makes him to wake up. Maybe Gambia is the wake-up call for Africa. So that was what I seen. The powerful Nigeria couldn't tell Gambia how to do this. Maybe Gambia will tell us how to do it. So we look forward to the women of Gambia holding forth and telling other African countries. We have some improvements in Africa, I must mention. It's happening in Rwanda. So people should actually see Rwanda as an example. Maybe because the women were involved more in Rwanda, today, Rwanda has become a shining star in Africa. Some other African countries are trying to do it. So I thank you for the opportunity. And I assure you that what we need to do is to insist on strong, clear, defined laws that will make the affirmative action no longer a talking point, but actionable law that can even be challenged in court where you're not doing it. That's what we need to do. And that's what you and your group will continue to demand. For me, and I said then in the, we need women not as a favor, But because of necessity, the more we are holding women down, the more we are holding the society down. And by doing that, it will take its revenge on us and the future of our children. Thank you for being part of this. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. There is a word there that captured my attention, and I believe the attention of so many of us here. That is, we need an Africa where the child of nobody will become somebody without knowing anybody. And we all know, this is a very big issue in Africa. In every sector that you knock on, you must know somebody before that door can be opened for you. So it's high time that we change that narrative. Therefore, we need laws that are just not talking laws, but actionable laws that will be implemented. And therefore, we must also make sure that women are involved. Like the team says, give to gain. And when you give a woman the platform, obviously she will multiply, not just for herself, but for the whole nation. So therefore, we must change these actions, and we must rethink, and we must make sure that women are involved in every decision making and in every sector of governance in this country and also in Africa as well. Mr. Peter Obi to also receive his gift from our worship.
Well, once more, thank you. Thank you, Mayor, for your invitation and for your recognition. Thank you, everybody. I'm happy that a young master of ceremony have agreed with me that we must build that continent where women will be in charge.
Peter Obi has proven to be the best candidate anybody can provide right now, because he have told the world, go and verify, go and look for where I was involved in fraud or criminal activities. Till today, nobody has anything to bring or to show that Peter Obi did wrong. Peter Obi led Anambra for 8 good years. He have told them, go and verify, go and check. When I led Anambra State, I did not steal money. I did not loot money. I used money for good things. I took education from ground level to the up level. I did this one, I did that one. Then people called him a liar, this one. But yet, they are here to provide proof. No single proof that Peter Obi forged any certificate. There's no single proof that Peter Obi was lying. No single proof that Obi did this one or did that one. They are all lying against Obi just to blackmail him and to paint him bad. But the worst part is that the more they try painting him bad, the more people are liking him, because Peter Obi have been chosen by Nigerians. Peter Obi is being loved nationwide. Peter Obi is being loved globally for his integrity, his character, his ambition, everything about P2B is worthy of emulation. Everything about P2B is worthy of emulation. Tell me one thing that we can emulate from this current APC government. The forged certificates, they promised us and failed, because Tinubu said that if he does not provide us with electricity, that we should not vote for him. But he's coming again to run, despite not providing for us electricity. This is a place where they failed. They failed in insecurity, because the high level of insecurity in Nigeria is alarming. Yesterday, they kidnapped students sitting for the NECO exam. Students were writing exams and they were kidnapped and they killed some teachers. This is under APC government. Under APC government, we have seen them allocate millions and billions of naira for infrastructure that they did not let her do. Where did the money go to? It's only in Nigeria that they will tell us that they budgeted for this thing, but then the money was diverted. Where did the money go? This is what people are saying, that APC government can't be trusted. Under APC government, we have lost over 16 top generals in military in Nigeria by these terrorists, and none of them have been arrested. Rather, our government pardons terrorists in Nigeria. Our government forgives them. Our government reintegrates them back in the society. Our government are recruiting them back into the army. I mean, terrorists that have killed so many people. This is the level at which we are in Nigeria as of today. Meanwhile, guys, thank you for watching that video of P2B. Let me know your thoughts about that in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you guys in my next video.